Donald Trump's FBI is freaking out right now with new revelations from the Epstein Files. A bombshell report by Roger Sullenberger talks about how Trump's DOJ and FBI apparently are covering up that back in 2019, a girl who accused Donald Trump of sexual assault was interviewed at least 4 times by the FBI and DOJ. You can actually use a Wayback Machine, and this is what Sullenberger did, to find that an individual who made these accusations against Donald Trump actually had 4 separate interviews. But where are these interviews? There's one that's available publicly where this individual says that she's uncomfortable talking about Trump and she doesn't want to talk about that right now out of fear of retaliation. There were 4 other interviews that just are missing right now. Remember from the Epstein Files where it mentions that Epstein introduced Jane Doe to Trump, who subsequently forced her head down to his exposed penis, which she subsequently bit. In response, Trump punched her in the head and kicked her out. Remember those allegations? Yeah, that individual spoke 4 times. Sullenberger did a great report here on his Substack, and he pulled out from this Internet Archive screenshot of witness material that was posted back in January when there was that first mini release of Epstein Files by the DOJ. Take a look right here. You'll see the kind of case number, which refers to just the kind of interview ID number of this individual. It is 3501.045. And then you'll see right here interviews on July 24th, 2019, August 7th, 2019, August 20th, 2019, and October 16th, 2019. And you'll see here there are 302s. So the 302s are the FBI interviews with individuals making accusations. Then there are interview notes. Then also there are photographs, intake reports, and most of this material is missing. And this individual, was viewed as credible enough to have multiple interviews and potentially also entered into a settlement agreement with the Epstein estate. So that's one reason the FBI is freaking out. I'm going to tell you what they're doing in a moment, because Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, kid you not, just hosted a podcast together on Dan Bongino's podcast. Yep, the gang is back. The 2 individuals who were out there who made their entire careers talking about Epstein, they're back now, and their shtick is the cover-up. I'll show you that in a moment. But there's additional information that they're freaking out about. Remember when the Midas Touch Network broke the story a few months back, when the Trump regime did like a first release, I don't even know, a small release of Epstein Files? Do you remember when we reported the following? In dataset 8 of the Epstein Files release, which was briefly posted on the Justice Department website, there is a letter alleged to be sent from Jeffrey Epstein to convicted sex offender Larry Nassar. Remember, he was the club doctor who sexually assaulted hundreds, if not thousands, of girls. You remember the Nassar story? The letter, which is postmarked just days after Epstein died, reads, "Dear LN, as you know by now, I have taken the short route home. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies at the hope they'd reach their full potential. Our president shares our love of young nubile girls. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to grab snatch, whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mess halls of the system. Life is unfair. Yours, J. Epstein." That letter was returned to sender. Reporting indicates that Epstein did indeed send a letter to Nassar from prison before his alleged death by suicide, which I don't think is a death by suicide. I don't think anybody thinks that anymore. The contents of that letter were never revealed. Additional documents show that the letter was submitted for handwriting analysis, though it's unclear if investigators reached a conclusion on whether or not this was definitively written by Epstein. These images are from the Bates number 36086 to 36085. Remember that letter. There's a copy of the letter right here. And remember, the Department of Justice attacked us? You remember that? And they posted, the FBI has confirmed this alleged letter from Jeffrey Epstein to Nasser is fake. The fake letter was received by the jail and flagged for the FBI at the time. The FBI made this conclusion based on the following facts. The writing does not appear to match Epstein's. The letter was postmarked 3 days after Epstein's death out of Northern Virginia when he was jailed in New York. The return address did not list the jail where Epstein was held and did not include his inmate number, which was required for outgoing mail. The fake letter serves as a reminder that just because the documents released by the Department of Justice does not make the allegations or claims within the documents factual. Nevertheless, the DOJ will continue to release all material required by law. And we talked about how it would actually make sense that it takes time for these letters to process. It would make sense that it would process through Virginia. That's one of the hubs where prison mail goes. The letter was found inside the prison where Epstein was, inside that facility. So that's a pretty good indication. And so there was nothing that suggested that it was definitely a fake. We wanted to wait and see what the results were from the handwriting laboratory. Well, as Jacob Shamsian explains, remember when an apparent letter from Jeffrey Epstein to Larry Nasser was in the December Epstein Files that the Midas Touch Network posted first? The December batch showed it was sent to the FBI for handwriting analysis. Well, now we actually have what the results are from the laboratory report dated September 9th, 2020. Guess what? It's different than what Trump's FBI and DOJ said when they were attacking Midas Touch in December. The FBI lab could not figure out whether it was or was not Epstein's handwriting because it claimed it did not have enough writing samples of Jeffrey Epstein, just like everyone else on the internet 2 months ago. Results of the examination. This was the conclusion. We have the conclusion now. Meaningful handwriting comparisons cannot be conducted between question items 4 and 5 and item 3, the purported known writing of Jeffrey Epstein, due to the lack of verified known writing submitted for comparison that is comparable in style, wording, and format to the question items. Well, in my opinion, that's suspicious because there was a lot of Epstein handwriting out there. So why could they not find enough Epstein handwriting samples to make the comparison? Do you remember when I showed you 2 days ago the letters from the CIA and the NSA that was sent back to Epstein's lawyer, where they made public records requests and said, we cannot confirm or deny whether or not Epstein was an asset of the CIA or worked in the intelligence department, and thus we are withholding any documents without acknowledging